Hey guys, good morning. It's Saturday morning and we're going ahead and we're doing this seminar. I wish everybody a good and happy morning. Just thank you so much for being here. We got an incredible seminar. Most of my online students know that we usually start class, or at least turn the camera on about 4 or 5 minutes before class. Today a little bit different. I'm doing it about 9 or 10 minutes before class, and the reason I'm doing that is that I'm not sure we've ever done a live class off of Anthem Fight Club before. So once again, I just want to make sure everybody is on board. We have a handful of people who are still trying to get permission to get into this site, so we're doing that as well. Make sure that you guys have some water, and make sure you guys have some kind of stick. All right, you guys will need those two things. Now listen, if you guys have a partner, or a partner with a stick, even better. A lot of you guys do these online classes, you guys throw me up, whether it be on your big screen TV, or you're watching me on your computer, or maybe even your phone, and all that is fine. But like I said, we're going to get started in about 8 minutes or so, kind of give or take. And if there's any questions or comments, we're going to try to monitor those as live as possible. And we'll try to answer those live during the seminar. So I still want this an interactive thing. Even though we're doing this virtually, I still want to make sure that we just answer as many questions as we can for you guys and things like that. So other than that, super excited. Once again, you don't need a partner for the seminar, but you do need a stick of some sort. So if you haven't grabbed one yet, you got about 7 minutes to search around the house and find, whether it be a wooden stick or maybe a short piece of PVC piping, or a trashy kind of stick of some sort that maybe you had in the garbage. I don't know what it is, but just find something, and then we'll get on board here, like I said, a couple minutes, kind of explain how this is going to work on out. Today, depending on how quickly we get the information, like I said, it's going to be probably around a 45-minute class, maybe a little bit longer, depending on how many questions we have and how quickly we get through the information. So this is a completely interactive seminar. This is not something you guys just want to sit down and look at the screen. You actually want to get up and be doing something. So we'll see you guys in a couple minutes. Thanks. All right, guys. Hey, listen, I just want to get back on. Some of you guys are just hopping on board here. Thank you so much for being live with us. We're going to start this thing in about 5 minutes or so. We're also doing this, as most of my online students know, we're doing it from kind of like a different venue, okay? we're not doing it. We usually have like a little mini studio set up in my garage. We're not going to do that. I want a little bit better acoustics. If there's any audio problems, now's the time to let me know as far as that goes. But like I said, we're gonna get going in about 5 minutes or so. A couple of the sticks that you may or may not have. Everything. Geez, I'm gonna try to grab a bunch of stuff right here. We have a foam stick right here. Some of you guys might have gotten this one. Pool noodle. Worst comes to worst. Arizona people, I know a lot of you guys have pool noodles. So grab one if by chance you guys want that. That's also great if by chance you have kids watching, by the way. A couple of the other sticks here, we obviously have our padded stick. We're going to be doing some drills, and this is great for sparring as well. This is kind of like the main one that most of you guys either had or will be getting, but once again, this is just your regular run-of-the-mill kind of Kali Eskrima stick. This is probably what I'll be using for most of today. Axe handle, you know, I talked about this in the last couple classes or so. I've had this axe handle now since my college days. I got an idea from, actually there was maybe a couple instructors who gave me this idea of using an axe handle to really develop not only my forearm strength, but also if you're able to do drills and things like that with an axe handle, well, then you pick up any kind of stick and you just think you're moving at the speed of light. You're much faster. So any of this would obviously be a little bit heavy for today, but I just kind of want to bring it on board here and hopefully get your creativity going. So if you still need a stick, you still have about 3 minutes or so just to find a stick. Okay, guys? We'll go ahead and, like I said, we'll start up in, I don't know, maybe about, like I said, 2-3 minutes or so. I'll kind of intro the seminar today, and then we'll get rocking and rolling, all right? Thanks so much, guys. See you in a couple. Hey, listen, it's 9 o'clock. We're going to start up. We're still having a couple people, whether it be request permission to get into the Facebook page. One or two people just have kind of some technical questions, more or less. So I'm going to just start off with a couple quick announcements and have you guys get settled on in. Once again, I know I'm seeing like a kind of a broken record here. You need a stick for the seminar. It's very, very hard to do the seminar without a stick. So look around your house, find anything. I don't care if you even grab a pool noodle, okay? Anything you guys can grab is for that, and can't wait to start using with you guys. A couple quick little kind of housekeeping things to get going on. First of all, we have some really great news that we're going to be announcing either on Monday or Tuesday this week. We haven't settled on what day we can actually release all the details. But the great thing is, needless to say, is that we are reopening back up classes at Phoenix Carmagon Fitness. And we have been working tirelessly to implement things to make sure everybody is safe, everybody is comfortable, and we'll be releasing all the details of that stuff literally either Monday or Tuesday. So students, please check your emails and then also check your individual online class pages. Okay, all right? Okay? If we're going to continue to do a volume check. If anybody's still having problems with hearing me or whatever, please let Stephanie know. Stephanie is behind the camera, and she is the one who's relaying comments and things like that to me. So that's the first thing that I want to mention about classes. Probably the most important things, because although this online format, quite honestly, has really given us some incredible teaching and learning opportunities, we know that we all love being in person, in class, and we're going to be there a lot sooner than you guys think as far as that stuff goes. So other than that, guys, I'm going to get started here just in about a minute. I will give you guys one last second to get set, and then literally we are picking up the stick and we are start moving. Now listen, if this is new to you guys, you know, if you guys are a member of our Anthem Fight Club page, you know, maybe you're an old student and you have not been plugged into our online classes the way we've been doing things ever since the lockdown, you've been missing out, okay? But the way that we do things here is we don't want anybody sitting on their butt just watching the video. For these seminars, for our classes, we want people up and moving around, and this is what today's all going to be about. It's going to be about doing work, getting in a great workout, and just having fun. So other than that, guys, give you guys 1 minute. Grab something to drink, please. Grab your stick, and I'm starting, ready or not, in about 90 seconds. Thanks. All right, guys, ready or not, here I come. You need a stick, okay? I don't care what kind of stick you guys use, but you guys need a stick. So hopefully by now, you guys have a stick, all right? Like I said, Stephanie's behind the camera. If there's any kind of technical difficulties or problems or anything like that, whether it be my volume, we're obviously in a different room. For most of you guys, you know, who have not or do not usually do our online classes, you know, we have a different background. We're in a different room today. Reason being is because this is going to be a little bit longer, and making sure that you guys hear me is that much more important. We just decided to switch rooms just for today as far as that goes. So other than that, let's get going here. Stick fighting. You know, many of you guys may or may not know I hold a full instructor certification in the Filipino martial arts, and I really fell in love with not only the Filipino martial arts, but also the Filipino culture literally decades ago. If you talk about their culture, and especially when it comes down to war times or battles that they have been in, you have to understand that even as modern age has progressed, they in their armies, you know, were using knives and sticks up against many armies that were attacking them, who had guns and mortars and things like that. They know how to use their weapons, okay? And they know how to use their sticks and their knives. And so when it comes down to the culture or area of weapons, You can't lose when you learn from the Filipino martial arts. And so that's going to be the basis of most of the instruction today. Now, as far as the instruction today, because we're only going to go for about 45 minutes, give or take, just understand this. I'm going to be pulling from a bunch of different Filipino martial arts. It's just not like one Filipino martial art. If you say Filipino martial arts, that's like saying sports. It's just like a broad category, okay? Filipino martial arts, there are a bunch of different martial arts under the whole umbrella of Filipino martial arts. The most common ones, whether you're talking about weapons or even empty hand stuff, are things like Kali, Arnis, Eskrima, Dumog, Panajakman. Those are just some of my favorite arts that I've loved to not only learn but also use as well. So we're going to be mixing a whole bunch of stuff. I may not have the time to say, hey, listen, we're pulling this from that art or this from this art. It's mainly, once again, from the Filipino and Indonesian cultures. Okay? So with that being said, we have a stick here, all right? And we're going to go ahead and just start with the basics, and I'm going to throw a lot of stuff at you guys. There is a little bit of order within this seminar today, but there's also a little bit of chaos as well. And the reason being is because I'm going to try to pack in as much information as possible, and like I said, we'll just kind of go from there. Believe it or not, we're not going to start with a weapon in hand as far as moving it. I still want you holding onto a weapon, but what I want you guys doing is working with footwork first. So when we work footwork, there's a couple kind of basic footwork patterns, and I'm going to show you guys, well, ideally it's two. It's 4 altogether, but it's 2 main ones. The first one is a simple step slide going forward and a simple step slide going backwards. So if I need to go ahead and attack, or if I need to go ahead and retreat and defend, this simple step slide is something that you not just see in the Filipino martial arts, you see in a lot of different combative martial arts. But all I want you guys doing is remember that when you hold a weapon, we're always going to go strong lead forward, or weapon side forward. So for instance, if I have the weapon, meaning a stick, in my right hand, I'm going to have a right lead. Now if you're left-handed, guess what? You're going to be in a left lead, just like this. And the reason why we're starting with kind of posture and everything like that is because that's basic structure. But think about it this way. If someone wants to come at me right here, if someone's trying to attack me, they have to get through my weapon to get to me. If I'm like here, many of you guys have heard me talk about this in class, you're leaving open this whole side right here because that's closer to the person as opposed to even the stick is. In Krav Maga, what we teach, as you guys know, we go with mainly a left lead. Just because that, think about boxing, they do the exact same thing. They're going to keep their power strike in the rear right here. If you talk about Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do, I taught that for 20-something years. They go strong lead because they want that stronger, more coordinated hand out in front. Because we're now dealing with a weapon, everything revolves around the weapon right now. And because of that, we keep the weapon always forward. We keep it in front. So this is your basic fighting structure. Let's go from kind of like the bottom to the top. We want to make sure that we're on our toes. We want to make sure that our knees are bent. We want to make sure that our hand is up. I don't say hands because I don't want this up like this. I want this weapon out in front of me. I don't want it down here. I don't want it high here. I want it right in front of me right here. So it can cover whether we go low, whether we hit high, or whether we need to go to the side. So as you can see, it's kind of hovering around the middle right here. That's all we're doing right here. Okay? If you're in left lead, it's the exact same thing, just the exact opposite. This offhand is very, very important. We're not going to be talking too much about it today, but the offhand is very, very important, whether it be for disarms or whether it be for striking as well. We can use it. If all of a sudden my stick gets tied up, guess what? I can use that fist to go ahead and strike as well. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to be sitting right here in a good defensive stance, a good fighting stance right here with the weapon in front. I'm going to give you a kind of a structure right here, okay? All right, but this hand wants to be up. Everybody got it right there? Good. So this is what we want to start out with. Once we go from here, now let's go to that footwork. We want to make sure we can advance forward and advance back. It looks simple, and ideally it is, okay? But I want to make sure that we have it. So we're going to go 2 steps forward. I want everybody doing this now. 1, 2, and then 2 steps back. 1, 2. Let's try that again. 1, 2, and then 1, 2. This is like your basic footwork, guys. the two most important directions you need to make sure that you can move is either forward or backwards. That's it. So if I go right here just like this, okay, I need to make sure that I can move forward and I need to make sure that I can move backwards. Everybody with me on that? So we're just going to go ahead and do 2 forward and 2 backwards. Just go ahead and do that just a little bit. 2 forward and then once again 2 backwards just like such. Okay? I'm going to give you guys about 30 seconds. And for you guys who are new to this online format here, there will be times where I'll give you guys 30 seconds or 60 seconds. I'll say, just get in some reps. Because once again, I don't want this to be just an informational kind of seminar or learning experience. I want you guys doing this stuff. That's how you're going to learn it. So once again, you're here, 1, 2, and then fall back. 1, 2. Everybody with me on that? All right, let's give it a try. About 30 seconds. Go back and forth. Once again, going forward, 1, 2, going back, 1, 2. All right. So we have advancing, forward and backwards. That's the first 2 out of the complete 4 basic kind of footwork we're going to do. The next kind of footwork we're going to do, we're doing it for more or less coordination. Okay? We can do a whole bunch of striking and defending and attacking and retreating off of these next 2 formations. And we simply call them the female and male triangle. Okay? The female and male triangle. So for instance, if I go ahead and I have a triangle set up just like this, this is what's known as the female triangle. This is what's known as the male triangle right here. Okay? And all we're doing is we're working back and forth on these 3 points right here. Okay, I'm going to take the sticks out of the way, but if you guys can imagine 3 points, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start off with this male triangle. Now, I'll be honest with you. When you talk about male triangles, female triangles, I'm not exactly sure how they got gender out of geometry right here, but hopefully you guys can kind of figure it out. All right? What we're going to do is, I'm going to take the sticks up, but I want you guys to go ahead and think of that there is a dot here, and a dot here. So we have 1, 2, and 3. Go ahead and pick up the stick. If you did put it down just for reference point, oops, I'm sorry, I do want you to hold on to a stick. And all I want you guys doing is going from one spot to the next spot to the next spot right here. You're just working the triangle right here, just like this. Now, notice when we do it, we have what's called kind of a floating leg. And a floating leg means is that if I go here, this one doesn't plant all the way. We go ahead and go here, and then I go back just like this. Okay? So this floating leg right here doesn't always stop. Okay? This floating leg, you see how that one never went by? I just want you guys doing this. Now, right now, this seems like a pretty basic, kind of elementary kind of a, structure for footwork right here. But what I want you guys to do is just get used to moving in different ways, and then we'll go ahead and we'll bring it back to how it serves us combatively and defensively a little bit later on. Okay? So stick in hand right now, and all we're doing is we're moving back and forth. And obviously right now, I'm going, from my structure, I'm going counterclockwise. Now guess what we could do? We could do clockwise as well, right? So all we're doing is, we're now doing clockwise. But I'm working off those exact same 3 points. All right, just try that real quick. This is the male triangle, clockwise, but also work counterclockwise. Let's go to the female triangle. Now I'm going to put back down the sticks right here, just for a point of reference. Obviously, if I wanted to, I could go ahead and I can take another stick and put it right about right here and go right here. So now, think about it this way. This is the female triangle, and I'm going here, here, trying not to trip on my own sticks, okay, as I go right here, just like this. Okay, you don't need to put sticks down, but notice that there is a point here, and point here, and I'm just simply going from here to here to here, and then back. okay? If I'm going this direction, I'm once again going counterclockwise. I could go clockwise the exact same way, right? Here, 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 and then once again back to here. So that's all I'm doing, okay? Experiment with that, you know? And once again, all we're doing is we're getting you used to moving with a stick in hand. That's it. For right now, for the purpose of this online seminar right now, I just want you guys moving around, but we're moving around in a particular structure, okay? Give you guys about 30 or 60 seconds to go ahead and experiment with both the female and also the male triangle. Go ahead and do that, guys. You guys are under 15 seconds or so. Once again, just kind of getting used to it, you know, and guys, don't make any more big of a deal of this. All you're doing is just going back and forth, just like this, okay? And then you guys can reverse it. Right now, I'm working with what? Female or male triangle? Male triangle, right? The point's right there, okay? And the two other points are right here. Perfect. All right, now we're gonna start striking. You guys ready? Okay? Most basic one, almost all my students know this. There's a couple different counting patterns or striking patterns that we're going to use. We're going to have fun with a couple of these today. All right, most basic ones are angles 1 through 5. So everybody's going to grab their stick. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to face this way because I want you guys to see things from my perspective. Most of you guys know that this is angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, and angle 5. If I was facing you, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? But I want to make sure you guys can see it from my perspective, so it's right here. What foot do I have forward? You're right, my strong lead right here, right? So, angle 1 is here, 2 makes an X down the opposite way, 3 across, 4 across, 5 is a stab. When we stab, we're stabbing just like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody got it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, let's try it again. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Just give you another different perspective on it, just so you guys know. But everybody should be able to do this. I don't care if you're 6 years old, I don't care if you're 66 years old. Okay? We're just doing angles 1 through 5. Continue doing that, please. Angles 1 through 5, please. Angles 1 through 5. I've done weapons seminars before. Weapons is in our curriculum, and I do work in this basic angles 1 through 5 into the curriculum right here, okay? Now some of you guys are already getting ahead of yourselves. You're like, hey, what if I go ahead and I switch right here? Can I do angles 1 through 5 here? Absolutely. It's the exact same thing. You just do it with your left hand right here, right? Okay? All right, so pretty basic, and I think almost everybody has this down. Whether you're talking about knife fighting or stick fighting, this basic 5 count is pretty much the most basic that you guys can get. So we have that. Now what I want you guys to do is, I want you guys to go ahead and work with me on some different kind of what we call striking angles right here. Now there's a handful, and they all kind of come in different shapes. The first one you guys already did, it's angles 1 and 2, so it's an X. Think of it that way. So all I want you guys doing is just an X. So from here, you're just doing an X. Once again, you've done these several times because you just did angles 1 through 5. Good. Next one is a plus. So go through, down. You guys got that? One horizontal line, one vertical line. Here, here. Okay? And just practice that. A couple different ways. Maybe I go this way one time. Maybe go this way one time. Okay? All right? Here, here. Don't do this. That's not it. We want one horizontal line, one vertical line. Now, some of you guys are asking, hey, can I do a vertical line up and one across? Is that a plus? Absolutely. So, here, here, different variations, right? So we have our X, we have our plus. Now, here's the funky one that everybody likes to do, all right? Except for maybe the first five minutes or so you do it. It's an upward figure 8. Upward figure 8 looks like this. All we're doing is we're doing this, Okay, this is the upward figure eight. Notice I'm not doing this, right? That's a downward X. Upward figure eight looks like this. So from behind, I'll try to widen it out so you guys can see it. You're looking like this. Good. Okay, side angle once again, just for something a little bit different. Front angle, just like this. Good, okay? So, we have that, right? What do we have so far? X plus upward figure eight. How about a circle? Two ways to do it, right? I can do a half circle, or I can do a full circle, or a full circle. Okay? So half or half, which is what I do. But think about it, I'm not doing this and I'm not doing this. They're curved. 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 Everybody with me on that? Okay? So once again, work the circle however you want it. Go back to the upward figure eight. Go back to the plus, however you guys want to do it. Then obviously go to the X. Now some of you guys are asking, can I do the X this way to this way? Yes. Think about it this way. There's two kinds of movements. There's what we call open movements and closed movements. Closed movement is anytime I go from this side to this side. I'm closing myself off, right? Okay? So this is a closed movement. This is a closed movement. This is a closed movement. This is an open movement, right? This, what about this? That's an open movement. What about this? That's an open movement, right? Okay, all right? So, I don't care which way you guys do your X, whether you guys start this way to this way, or you guys go this way to this way. Either or work, all right? What do we got so far? Got the X, got the plus, got the upper figure eight. We have the circle, however you're going to do it, two halves or one full one. Full one may look like this. Boom, right? Okay, you guys got that? So I start out here, go all the way around to here. That could be one, right? We also have a dot, okay? What is a dot? Well, a dot is any kind of stab. So that is a dot, but is this a dot? Absolutely. What about this? Yeah, that's a stab. 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 Okay, so experiment with those real quick. Boom, that's a stab right there, right? Okay? So, X plus upper figure eight. Circle, I'm going to do a full one. Okay? Great? And then we got, just like that, right? Okay, we got our stabs. If there's any questions whatsoever, Stephanie's behind the camera. Ask any questions. I'll be more than happy to answer them. But so far, we've gone through what? We've gone through two major kinds of footwork, either forward advancing or retreating. Then we also have our female triangle, but then we also have our what? We have our male triangle. Everybody with me so far on all this? Great, okay? So we have our footwork down. Then we have striking down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's about as basic as it gets. And then we have our striking kind of angles, right? So we have our X, we have our plus, we have our upward figure eight, we have our circle, and then we have our stab. Everybody with me so far? Stephanie, question.
How important is the footwork?
How important is footwork? Great question. Footwork is almost as important as breathing, okay? Now, a couple different ways you guys can kind of, make light of that or figure that out. When you're doing any kind of fighting, the importance of your footwork is paramount. Here's the whole problem that I see. I see too many people spending too much time on footwork and not as much stuff on other things. Like, once again, speed or power of your striking or combinations, or more, even more important than that, what is your game plan in a combative situation? So footwork is important, and that's why as we start getting into a couple of the drills a little bit later on, paying attention to your footwork is very, very important. Related to what we're just doing right now, you never once just saw me do this, right? I was always doing what? This is a movement, this is a movement, right? I was always moving. So, to kind of go off your question, let me just say this. You should never be in a static still position when you guys are doing any of this stuff. I want you guys moving around a little bit as you guys do it. Okay? All right, good. So, angles 1 through 5. We have our different kinds of our fighting, we'll call them shapes, by the way, fighting shapes. All right, that's the X, the plus, upward figure 8, circle, and dot, just like that, right? Okay. Then we have our fighting, we'll call them angles. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start using terms, different kinds of names for different kinds of strikes, and I just want you guys just to absorb it on in. Don't get hung up on them, but I'm just going to call them by the names that they're named within these cultures here real quick. So, first thing that we have here, okay, is we have our movement where we have a floreta. Floreta is starting right here. You want to start with your stick out just like this, and I want to loosely rotate it this way. Now, if I'm holding in my right hand for all intents and purposes, I want it spinning clockwise. Okay, I want it spinning clockwise. So can you try that real quick? So once again, this is a floreta, and from here we can go ahead and put a strike right down the end of it. So what is this? And I'm only going to use this example right here just to make a point that all these serve a particular purpose. We may not have time to get into the purpose of each and every one. But as far as the striking angle right here, what is this? It's really a fake, right? It's like, person doesn't know if I'm going to strike on the 4th one, or on the 1st one, or on the 8th one. Everybody follow me on that? So once again, how we do this is, you're sticking the stick out just like this, so the end is pointed straight out the direction that you're looking, and you're just making a circle, okay? And like I said, if it's right-handed, if you're right-handed, you're moving this in a direction of clockwise. If I'm over here, holding with my left, it would be counterclockwise because that's my movement right here. Now some of you guys are asking, can I move it counterclockwise here and strike up? It's difficult. It's more made for a downward kind of a strike, just like this. Okay, all right? So, Flora, it's a question.
I think it's a good question now and before. The question was, why do you do that with your non-stick hand where you're moving it across your body?
Sure.
Shouldn't you just keep it up to defend your face?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. People ask, and you'll see this in a couple drills that I do. Why do I tap my chest? Why do I keep this up? Or, whatever. Once again, it goes from a closed movement, okay? It goes from balancing out a strike right here, meaning that if I go like this, as opposed to this is faster than, let's say, just this, okay? So it is a weighing back and forth between protection and power. The great thing is, as long as you keep your hand up around this area, I can still protect my face. So whether it's smacking here, it's still up here, right? Okay? Because think of it this way. If I go here and I come this way, guess what? I need this hand for protection just like this, as an example, okay? Floreta, this is the first one. Sucrete. Sucrete is this way, so it's coming through like this, here. So I'm striking with what? Striking with the end of the stick, right? The tip of the stick. So it's here, here. Watch the feet, guys. I'm not doing this. So back to my footwork point, right? Okay? Whole body. Even down to my toes and the ball of my foot right here, right? So I'm just going through right here like this. Floreta. Sucrete. Abanico. So think of it this way. Pop, right to someone's face. Boom, right here. Once again, see the whole body moving. I'm just not doing this. Okay? Boom, whole body, just like that. Pop, okay? Abanico, just like that. So I'm hitting right there to someone's face. Okay? Back to Floreta. Good. Sucrete. Good. Abanico. Different angle. See the right angle? Right angle. Hit. Hit. I'll let you guys in and see if you guys can figure this out. Watch this right here. Same kind of mechanics, right? Okay? Just know this. We train weapons, not just to train weapons, but because they turbocharge and they support all the movements of our empty hand kind of fighting. We'll talk more about that, right? But what's the difference between a suprete and a boom, elbow? It's nothing, right? It's the exact same kind of movement. Everybody with me on that? All right, florete. Good. Suprete. Abanico. Redondo. Boom. One of the more functional kinds of strikes. Watch my body movement. Good. Good. Redondo, that's what it's called. Floreta. Good. Suprete. Abanico. Redondo. Good. There's more, but we got to move on. Okay? All right? So all I want you guys doing here is now we're going to make this a little bit more functional. We're going to move around. We're going to start using a drill called Carenza. Now, if you're level, let's say probably level 3 on up, you've probably heard of this before. I know Stephanie has introduced it and with some of her higher level students within her youth classes as well. So whether you know it or you don't know it, here's what it is. Carenza is nothing more than shadow boxing with a weapon. Think about it. When I go ahead and I shadow box with without a weapon, I'm just practicing my movements, right? Okay? Why can't we do the exact same thing with a stick, right? Or the knife, or whatever it is. All I'm doing is I'm practicing all of these movements, right? I'm practicing all these movements, just like I'd be practicing all of my movements when I'm shadow boxing. So that's the first thing that I want to bring to your attention. Another way to do it is, if you guys come from traditional martial arts, you may know what a kata is. A kata is like a set form of movements that I do that's sequenced out very, very specifically. So Carenza is like that, but there's no necessary like choreography. Okay, so you can kind of just free flow and go from one move to the next move to the next move. If I'm shadow boxing, or if you see most people who are shadow boxing, they're not doing, they don't have, let's say, if they do 52 moves, they haven't laid out all 52 moves beforehand. They're just moving around, right? Okay, they're just free flowing. And that's all we can do too, but we're just gonna be doing with a weapon. Now, I've given you guys 3 different kinds of structures, right? The easiest one is angles 1 through 5. If you guys have kids who are doing this, especially 9 and under, this is a great place to start. Start with just them moving around and using angles 1 through 5. Now, you may want to make it really easy and just say, hey, listen, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, repeat. And that's a great kind of basic elementary place to start. When I say elementary, it's not like it's a bad place to start. If this is the first time that you're ever working with a stick, guess what? You can start here. That's just fine. Okay? The next step up, we did what? We did all those kinds of shapes, right? So we did X, we did plus, we did upward figure 8s. What else did we do? Okay? You're right, we did stabs. Okay, good. So my point is that that's like the next level up. So if you guys want to go ahead and work with all of those different kind of fighting shapes, you guys can do that as well. All I'm doing is mixing up all of those shapes just like that. Okay, all right, everybody with me on that? Good. Whew. Last one we have is we have all those attack angles, right? Okay, right? We have all those attack angles. So that's where the floreta comes on in. Okay? That's where the suprete comes on in. That's where the abanico or the redondo comes on in. Everybody got that? So you kind of choose whatever angle or whatever kind of structure you guys want to work with. And by the way, could you work everything in? Absolutely. I'm going to move a little bit slower, but see if you guys, and I will name some of them out, but some of them you'll just be able to see. I'm going to move around and do this carenza, but I'm going to mix in all 3 kinds of structures. So I may start out with angles 1 through 5, okay, all right? Then I may go ahead and progress to maybe just doing the shapes, and then I might end up with doing what? Yeah, there's different kinds of attack angles and things like that, right? Everybody with me on that? Okay. So here's my point. Mix them on up or work with them individually. This is your Carenza time. I'm going to give you guys quite a bit of time. I'm going to give you guys 3 minutes. In the online class world, that's an eternity. Okay, all right? But I want you guys moving around, and I just want you guys working different kinds of angles, all right? And practicing different kinds of angles. Now, could you do an angle or find an angle that are not covered under one of those 3 structures? Absolutely. Is that wrong? Absolutely not. Please use that. Please use that. So I want you guys moving around, doing whatever kind of angles you guys want to do, all right? And just simply mix things up if you want to, or stick with one particular structure. You know, so say, hey, listen, for the first, 20, 30 seconds, I'm going to do angles 1 through 5. The next ones I'm working on the shapes, and the last one I'm working on all the attack angles right there. Everybody got it? Now, last thing I'll do before I go ahead and let you guys go for 3 minutes right here. Pay attention to the feet. If you guys are moving, if you guys are moving the stick, but not the feet, guess what? That's a problem, right? Okay? You need to make sure you guys are moving the feet and also the stick as well. That's how we do Carenza. The great thing is, I always tell people about Carenza, is that you can't necessarily do it wrong, but you could always do it better. Always do it better. All right? I'm going to give you guys 3 minutes. Let's have fun with this. Move around. Don't overly criticize yourself. Do what you can do. And once again, if there's questions, type them in. I'll come back after 3 minutes and answer the questions. You guys got it? All right, you're on your own. Set, go. About 30 seconds has gone, so you know you have plenty of time. 2.5 minutes. Keep on moving around. Go. Once again, focus on yourself, okay? But once again, all you're doing is you're simply moving around. You're moving around. There's no wrong thing, okay? There's no wrong thing. That's all you're doing. Now, don't forget to face different directions right here. Sometimes step off on an angle, sometimes advance going close and going far, meaning advancing and retreating. Mix it all up, guys. You guys still have 60 seconds left. Go. About 30 more seconds, guys. You guys should have not stopped. If you pulled up, it's not good. Go for the full 3 minutes, guys. If your arm and your shoulder aren't feeling a little bit, you probably stopped. Okay? Keep on moving. Keep on moving. About 15 seconds left, guys, and we gotta move on. 15 seconds left. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, time. You wanna know the cool thing? This is a drill you guys can do at home anytime you guys want to. You know, there's times where maybe I'm watching the news or I'm just taking a break from work or whatever, and I'll grab that axe handle, okay? Or you could do it with a blade, training blade, please, okay? And you guys can simply just work through the movements right here. That's the cool thing about it, guys, is that once again, there is no set way that you have to do it, and whether you guys put in a 30-second round or a 30-minute round, maybe pretty long, all right? That's all good. It's all plus. It's all making good improvements on whatever you're doing. Because every single time you pick up the stick and you move, you're probably moving a little bit better, a little bit more balanced, a little bit faster, etc., etc. Think about it this way, you know, I always relate this back to basketball. It's like if you take, let's say, a teenager who has never picked up a basketball before, and you tell them to dribble and or shoot or pass, they're going to look completely uncoordinated. You tell them to go ahead and you put in, let's say, anywhere from 5 minutes to 15 minutes a day, every single day for 30 days, they're going to seem like a completely different person just because they're handling the ball more. It's not even because they're receiving great instruction or anything like that, although that can massively help. But just getting the use of being able to do something over and over again builds better comfortability with it. Think about it this way, guys, from a combative standpoint. If you have to pick up a stick or grab your blade, you know, to defend yourself in a real life altercation, if you're not used to moving with it, much less striking with it, or anything like that, do you think all of a sudden that comfortability is going to be able to come when your heart's beating out of your chest just like this, and you're all nervous, and you got shutter vision on, because you got the adrenaline dump happening in your body? Absolutely not. So the point that we're trying to make right here is make sure, without a doubt, you get comfortable with the weapon. You get comfortable with the weapon. And that's what Carenza is all about. That's what Carenza is all about. Does somebody have a question there real quick?
Just about the striking.
Yeah.
Will you ever do a striking or defending against a weapon?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, obviously there's only so much we can do because I'm guessing most of you guys are training and are watching this with no partner. So we will handle both offensive and defensive. I've done them several times before. We're obviously just doing this format because for most people, you guys don't have a partner right here. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to bring Stephanie out here because we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about a couple of different angles and things like that. Stephanie's going to go ahead and she's going to grab a stick. And here's a drill that you guys can do with or without a partner, okay? So I know most of you guys are training without a partner, all right? But if you guys have a partner, here's how you can train. By the way, if you don't have a partner, you can do the exact same movements, and I'll show that in a little while. Note that they're all together within weapons. There's what we call 7 different kinds of ranges of weapons. That's a lot, right? Okay? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give you the 4 basic ones right here. The 4 basic ones are what we call largo mono range. The first one is, this largo mono is that when I can hit the person's hand, but they cannot hit me. Okay? This is what we call largo mono. And I know we're kind of stretching the space that we have right here, so I do apologize on that. Why is that important? Well, because many of you guys know, once you guys get into level 3 and 4, we start getting into knife fighting and stick fighting and stuff like that. Most martial arts, I'm going to put Stephanie on their side just so she can see this, or do this. When they come ahead and they are, let's say, attacking you with a weapon, if I block here, okay, and all of a sudden I go ahead and I feed my angle, she could block too. Well, we ideally just cancel each other out. Not to mention that this could be dangerous, right? If this is an edged weapon, or let's say this is a really, really thick piece of wood right here, and you try to block it, what's going to happen to your arm? Man, it's going to snap your arm, right? So what the Filipinos do is they do something that's extremely intelligent, right? They do something called defanging the snake, right? They have this little saying called, once you defang a snake, the snake is rendered useless, right? So all we're doing is, if Stephanie holds out her stick, all I'm doing is I'm smacking her hand. Now what's that going to do? Well, that's going to cause her to drop the weapon, right? So no matter what angle she goes through, I'm simply hitting the hand, or I'm hitting the hand, or if she feeds something different, I'm simply hitting the hand. I obviously click the stick because I don't want to hurt her, okay? Right? That's right, I don't want to hurt her. But if I smack the hand right there, I get an instant disarm. Why is that so important? Well, if you've never been in martial arts before, that almost seems common sense because it is. But in most martial arts, they work off of a blocking system. So think about it this way. If I gotta go, and let's say that I am gonna say that blocking does work with a weapon, and we've already kind of maybe exposed some problems right there, but no matter what angle she feeds, I need a different kind of a block from no matter what kind of angle that she feeds right there. It could be upwards, it could be downwards. There's like a different kind of a block for every kind. That can get crazy, right? What I love about the Filipino is they work off of what we call principles or concepts. And that defanging the snake is a concept because no matter what angle she comes at, guess what? I'm always hitting the hand, no matter what angle. And that leads to an instant disarm, all right? Now there's more to that, and we'll cover that in the seminar, but that plays into what we just named our first kind of range here, which is largo mounted range. This is the range where I can hit, if she holds the weapon out, I can hit her hand, but she cannot hit me. That's probably pretty important to know once you start understanding that, right? If we take a little half step in closer, now here's the thing where I can hit her and she can also hit me, right? So now I still hit the hand because we need to do that, but I also have to now check the hand, right? Why? Because if she swipes all the way through and I hit, she can still hit me. Now, especially if this is a bladed weapon, that's very, very important, right? So, this Sumbrada range, this is what this range is called, Sumbrada. Sumbrada range is a range where I can hit the hand, but I also now have to check it right here. All right? Let's go a little bit closer. Now I can hit the person with the butt of the stick, or what we call the puño end of the stick, right here. All right? I can't necessarily hit the person with any close quarter moves, but I can hit them with the butt of the stick or a fist right there. That's that range closer. Let's go one more in closer. Now there's a range right here where now I can grab and I can also use close quarter moves like a knee or an elbow or things like that. So let's go over these 4 ranges. Now this is a part that's a little bit more informational, so bear with us, okay? We have what's called largo mano. Stephanie's going to step off. Largo mano range is the range where I can hit the hand, but she cannot hit me. Then we have Sumbrada range, is the range where I can hit her and she can hit me. Therefore, when I hit the stick, I also have to check. Give me a different angle. So now I hit, but I also check. Give me a different angle. Same thing here. Does that make sense? Okay? If I move in closer, we now have this, what's called this puño range right here. So now things get really crazy because not only can I hit the person with the end of my stick, with the front end of my stick, I also hit them with the butt or the back end of my stick. If I get closer here, now I can also use my elbows, my headbutts, my knees, and things like that. So those are the 4 different ranges. There is a drill for each and every one of these ranges. I'll give you 2 just as an example, all right? The first one is what we call breaking sticks. I'll put Stephanie on this side once again. This is something you can do with or without a partner. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna hit high, hit low, and retract, and then hit high and go through. Through, hit, retract, through. Through, hit, retract, through. Good, go ahead and step off real quick. So I'm just going to show this. You can do this if you're by yourself. Through, hit and retract, through. Through, hit and retract, through. If you talk about like 3 super important angles when you talk about stick fighting, it's these 3 angles right here. It's through here, down and retract because I don't want to do this because all of a sudden I'm left open, right? Okay? So I want to make sure that I can go through, hit and retract, through, okay? It's all new here. So Stephanie's going to come right back out here, and we can do this up against sticks. Go ahead and take a half step back. Good, thank you. So we go here, hit. To the feet, okay? Good. Breaking sticks is one. Sumbrada, there's a drill for that. I'm going to put Stephanie on this side. This is the range where I can hit her and she can hit me. So now I have to hit, but I also have to go ahead and stop that weapon too. So we have a drill for this. This is called Sumbrada. All right? Stephanie's going to come here, smack and check. You're going to see us smack the hand and check every single time. Smack and check, smack and check, smack and check. Good. Good. See what we're doing right here? All we're doing, we're just going ahead and we're hitting and retracting. Now, the cool thing about this range is that in this drill, I can also practice my disarms because now I'm close enough. So if I need to from this range, I can go in here and disarm and go here. I'll show you just one other disarm here real quick. We can disarm here, so as I go around here just like this, good. There's a disarm right there, right? Okay? See how deep this stuff gets? That's why we're keeping things pretty simple and elementary as far as today goes. Alright? So, here's the point that I want to make to you guys, okay? Here's the point that I want to make to you guys as we start tying up this seminar today. The most important thing, I don't care if you guys are sparring, training, whatever, it comes down to weapons, handling, and footwork, right? And that's what today is all about. Weapons handling and footwork. Now, some of you guys may be saying, well, listen, isn't striking important? Yes, but that just goes along with weapons handling. Think about it, basketball once again. Can you pass or shoot without ball handling? No, you need ball handling. Ball handling is like the basic, right? It's the foundation. Same thing with any kind of stick stuff. Any kind of stuff you do right here comes down to how you can handle the weapon. I don't care how you're striking. That's why this drill called Carenza is so important. So let's go through those three kinds of structures again. First structure, angles 1 through 5. Are you with me on that? Next structure we have is what? The shapes, right? We have X, plus, upward figure 8, circle, and stab. Now, I only showed you guys a couple of the attack angles, which are, what are those? Floritas, good. Okay, so cretes here. Next thing we got is what? Abanicos, good. All right, then we have redondos. Are you with me on that? Redondos. Use one or all of them to practice your weapons handling. Because if you don't have weapons handling, you can't do any drills. And if you don't have weapons handling, you definitely cannot spar. And I think I've hopefully driven home the point. If you don't have weapons handling, you don't have any defense either. So everything is dependent on this weapons handling. So people will always come to me and say, hey, listen, show me this new knife disarm. Show me this new stick kind of counter move or whatever. Well, I know that they're not ready for that information if they don't have their basic weapons handling down. And that's why when you guys get to levels 3 and 4 on up, okay, we start and we continue to do more and more weapons handling. Everybody with me on that? I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes. Carenza. Like I said, this is an interactive kind of a seminar. Do not sit on your butts and not do this. Grab a weapon. Now, up this point, I have said, have a stick. Could you use a knife and do Carenza? Absolutely. Pretty much the exact same angles, right? All right? You're just with a shorter weapon and now a sharper weapon. So if you guys want to grab a butter knife or a plastic knife, do not grab like your hunting bowie, okay? All right? Do not grab your tactical folder, because all of a sudden you're playing around and whoop, I just sliced myself, okay? Now I'm bleeding out of my artery right here, right? So we got a 2-minute Carenza round. Let's have fun with this. Work in all those angles. I'll see you guys back here in 2 minutes, and then we'll start tying up the seminar, because like I said, I didn't want to go more than an hour here, okay? Set, go. Finish up, you guys maybe have about another minute or so, give or take. And then we got a little bonus video that we're going to throw your guys' way very, very soon. And I'll talk about that here in a second. But you guys should be doing Carenza, finishing up on Carenza. Give me about another 30 seconds or so, 40 seconds tops, guys. All right, good time. Great job, guys. Great job. What's the point of today? The point of today is that it's all about weapons handling. If you don't have weapons handling, you don't have anything, okay? So if you guys would show up to, let's say, a stick fighting or a knife fighting seminar, there's only so much I can do with people who don't know how to handle a weapon. Think about it this way, if they come to a basketball seminar and they have no ball handling skills, there's only so much you guys can do with them. So if you guys want an up on the rest of your co-students, all right, practice Carenza. It's a great little workout that you guys can do. It not only works the arms, but man, you do this for, let's say, 5 1-minute rounds with 15-second breaks in between. That's gonna be one heck of a workout. You want even more of a workout? Instead of the 15-second breaks, do 15 jump squats in between each round. So simple things like that, guys, can go a long, long way. Everybody with me on that? All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I promised you guys double stick drills and work and things like that. I specifically said, I think in an email or a post, I'm not gonna get into that for a couple reasons too much, but I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna send you guys a video. Is that when you guys do double stick fighting, it's like a whole nother world, okay? It just kind of raises your skills exponentially. Because most of you guys don't have 2 sticks to work with, I didn't want to waste time of this seminar using double stick stuff. But here's what I'm going to do for you guys. Within the next about 30 minutes, I'm going to post a video that I made, I think it was back in 2013, so it was 7 years ago. I made this video on a couple double stick drills. Now, the cool thing is, it's called 6 count. That is the drill that we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna teach you. So this is the drill right here that I'm gonna teach you guys, okay? You could also do it with a stick and knife. So you're like, oh crap, I don't have 2 sticks, grab a knife. It's the exact same kind of moves right here that you guys can do here. Now, here's the cool thing about the video. The video that I'm going to be posting on this Anthem Fight Club page that I made 7 years ago for you guys, okay, all right, is a drill where I'm showing it 3 ways. You guys can do it up against air, okay, if you don't have anything to hit, and please don't use your family members. I know you guys are, you know, your patience is like this, okay, because of the lockdown, but you can't use family members. But I'm gonna have you guys can practice against air, or you guys can use a heavy bag, and you'll see me do it up against a heavy bag, all right? Or I'll show you how to turn it into a drill that you guys can do with a partner. So even if you don't have, let's say, a partner right now that you guys can use, when we get back to classes, which is happening soon, sooner than you guys think, okay? You could go ahead and tell a partner, hey, listen, go ahead and bring your sticks or whatever. We're just gonna practice this 6 count drill or whatever. It's a super cool drill, but regardless of what you have, if you have a partner, great. I'll show you how to do that kind of a 6 count drill. If all you have is a bag to strike, then I have that too. I have that on the video. If all you guys have is just air that you're hitting, guess what? I show you how to do it up against there as well. Everybody with me on that? All right, guys, hey, listen. We're about at the hour mark, and I don't want to go over an hour. You guys have been great. Thank you so much for showing on up today. Classes are still online tomorrow, and they're still online on Tuesday, so that does not change for my students. Show up to your individual private class pages, and you guys can go ahead and we'll meet just like we've been meeting for the last several weeks. It seems like several years, but it's several weeks, okay? Don't forget, Monday and Tuesday, I'll be releasing via email and probably on the individual class pages what our reopening plans are and what the schedule is for that. I'm so excited to share that with you guys. Other than that, guys, hey, listen, you know what? Steph and I love you guys. Thanks so much for hanging with us. We so appreciate it. And like I said, we'll all be back together very soon. In the meanwhile, work your Carenza, guys. We'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.